How you doing? So, something I've been always wanting to do was to solo the champion boss. That was my number one thing in this game was to solo the champion boss. Now I can retire. Okay, maybe not retire, but something that I've always that was my number one thing is to solo the champion boss. And I remember the first time I got to the champion boss, it took me Oof, at least 1,500 units, maybe up to like 3,000 units. And that's including already all the potions and boosts and revives I already had in my stash. And I still wasn't able to beat them. And it's really the last 10% that was the hardest part. And then we just had the best. Since then, I was like, oh, we just had the best buff in the MCOC and the best Mystic Champion Diablo that just got buff. So I was like, okay, I know I can do this. So it did take me. I know I could do it itemless, and it took me 33 attempts to do it. But I did it with a tag team of Symbiote Supreme and Diablo to solo the champion boss. So you can make an argument Symbiote Supreme is like better than Diablo, like the first 90% of the fight, but really the last 10%, you really need some champion that can regen because he does so much damage on his block hits that if you're not playing perfectly with Symbiote Supreme, you're just not going to be able to solo it with him. So that's why Diablo comes in really handy because his regen is crazy. So like I mentioned, I've always wanted to solo the champion boss. So and and I'm gonna come up with uh, this is just one of the reasons why I know that Diablo is the best buff in MCOC, and in my opinion, the best Mystic champion in the game. This is part one, and why not start with the champion boss? You know, I want to do this project. I really think that Diablo can solo at least 60 boss as a 5 star. As a 5 star. I know Karate Mike had like 60 boss solo with a rank 4 6-star Hercules. I know Diablo can do it with a 5 star, at least 60 bosses. So, or 60 solo fights, or whatever you want to call it. So, this is just one of them. And, what is this? The hard part is doing this item list. And, I actually did this item list, getting all the way to the champion boss, just the straight path. And I usually mostly use King Root and Diablo. I pretty much that's the only champions I use to get to the champion boss. So it's not the first time that I did this trying to solo the champion boss. This has been at least 5 times, I would say. And I only use King Root and Diablo. Mostly Diablo and King Root is really just for um what's that? What's his name? Void. Void is a problem for Diablo because if you're running damage mastery, I could turn it off, but yeah, why bother, right? Why spend the units? So I just bring uh, King Root in there. You know, there's been actually a couple of times I got to the champion boss where both of them is 100% health. Since they're the only champions I use to get to the champion, all my champions were 100% health. So King Groot, I think he's the best option for Void because every time I got to the Void, at least 5 times, I was able to solo it. I think there's even a time where I was able to beat him with like 100% health, and I've never not even like play perfectly, not even like play really terrible, and I can still beat Void. He's gotta be the best option because he can shrug off debuffs, King Groot, and he can heal. So I think he's probably, I don't know any champion better than King Groot that is better for Void. So I did bring him in. So in this part of it's kind of useless in there going up against the champion boss because he doesn't do anything for the team. It'd probably been better if I had brought Kingpin, gets that extra 10% potency on the poison. But I just like use my other champions against Void, I guess, if Kingpin doesn't work out. But I just like, you know what? I can use King Root. This one champion that doesn't that's hardly does anything for Diablo, doesn't do anything for Diablo, it's not gonna be that terrible. So there you go. So let's check out the gameplay. So main thing is you want to activate the nullified free fight ability. You can activate all of them if you have low health, and they'll pretty much take you back to 100%. If you're probably wondering, why am I at 100% health? Well, he's Diablo. And most of the time I've been to got to the champion boss, it's always been 100% health. And well, not always, but most of the time. And just the last 10% has always been the biggest issue for me. And it's like, if you don't believe me, you'll see in this gameplay why he was 100% health. So let's see the gameplay. For me, I think the easiest way to beat him is just to get to the free fight, uh, 8 vials. See that brown thing that has that, I guess, poison thing? I don't know what you call it. It's brown. It has 8 now. So once I get there, usually you want to get to the SP3 before he falls below 70%, because as you can see here, he's able to, his light attacks becomes unblockable. So this didn't work out for me because I threw an SP2 some point in the fight, which you don't want to do. You want to keep throwing your SP1, get to 8 vials as soon as possible. After that, it's really easy. Here, I have no idea what just happened. And then after that, you want to have Mystic version as well. So once you get that, you just pretty much throw 3 SP2s, and then he'll be like a 10% health. And after that, it's not that's going to be the hard part. See, now through I two what 3 SP2s, now he's at 10%. So really the main part is just like the first 30% of the fight. When he gets below, just before he gets to 70%, he throw that, get 8 vials of might, and then throw your SP3s. Then if you have Mystic Boost version, you're gonna be able to throw like 3 SP2s. He'll go back to like 10% health. The good thing about his SP2, it's unblockable, so it's really not, in my opinion, it's not that hard at that point. But then you get to the 10%, that's the challenging part. As you can see here, I got hit a bunch of times, and if you didn't believe me, like I didn't use any items and why Diablo was 100% health, you'll see why in this fight. I will be some point be 100% health. I mean, I've never actually seen a 5-star solo the champion boss. I don't even know any champion that's been able to do it with 100% health. I know Karate Mike did it with a 6-star rank 3 unawakened, but not I haven't seen a 5-star do it with 100% health. And I almost did it. You know, having played, I mean, this will really show you how good Diablo is because of his regen. Is I played this as bad as possible to get the solo, and I still really, it's just as bad as you can get to be able to solo this fight. And I still, I did it. I soloed him. You know, I took 13 hits from the champion boss. 13 hits doesn't seem a lot, but coming from the champion boss, that's a lot. I don't know any champion in the game currently that has a higher attack than the champion boss. I mean, he has one of the highest attack in the game. It's not just his attack, but his block penetration. He hits you in the block, it's almost like you're not even blocking. That's how strong he is. So I took 13 hits, and not only that, I took like a bunch of hits on the block. That's Look at this. It's like I'm not even blocking because of his block penetration is so strong combined with his high attack damage. So as you can see here, I'm gonna get to 100% health. And if I didn't make the mistake towards the end, I would have finished this with 100% health with a 5-star. So let's see. So something I didn't really know is like you can actually dex the the SP2. So right here, I just I was just she was so just just a little bit off right there. If he was a little bit closer, I would have been able to, you know, get that one charge out of me, and then been able to beat him. Here I messed up. I shouldn't just got another extra hit and then through my SP2 it would have been game over. But I still pulled it off, so that was the good part. As you can see how bad I played and I still was able to solo it. So I took 13 hits, which is a lot against the champion boss. If I took 3 less hit, I wouldn't be able to solo it with 100% health. So yeah, so that will be more for it when it comes to Diablo solo. I just wanted to do the champion boss, and I'm trying to do it itemless. I don't know if it's gonna be possible to solo many fights with, especially endgame boss with Diablo because it's the fact that he's only a 5 star. Maybe I'm just the best player in MCOC that I only need a 5 star, not a 6 star. If you see my gameplay, you know I'm joking. But really, seriously, that was sarcasm, by the way. But seriously, if you actually in the hands of a really skilled player, Diablo is you will see how good Diablo is. Happy McMuffins, he won what is that called? I forgot what it's called, but it's I guess Battlegrounds on 2021. He won 2021 Battlegrounds. Okay, he was the champion, and on his YouTube channel, he was using Diablo, a rank 2 6 star, against Summer of Pain last year. He was able to solo 3 straight boss, itemless, back to back to back, and you can make an argument. Each of those fights is as hard as the champion boss, or even harder. So, and he did it with a rank 2 unawaken. Okay, um, if he and that was you couldn't use any synergy in the team in that gameplay either, so he did it with a rank 2 unawakened without synergy. So you can make an argument which is stronger, rank 2 or a rank 5 rank 2 6 star or rank 5 5 star. But he was unawakened. I have a 5 star rank 5 sig 200. That's like close to really a rank 3 unawakened 6 star. Not quite as strong, but it's pretty close because if I'm running Liquid Courage, he takes 30% reduced damage, and a 6 star rank 3 has 30% more health, so it's nearly pretty much the same thing. And if the opponent is poisoned, I increase my attack by like 25%. So 6 star rank 3 has a 30% more attack. So it's pretty close. And you can make a case like it's very close to a 6 star rank 3. Also keep in mind that a 5 star rank 5 has a 10% power has a 10% higher power rate than a 6 star rank 3. So it's not quite as strong as a 6 star rank 3 unawakened, but it's pretty close. So, but this guy, Happy McMuffin, one of the best MCOC player in the world, he did it with a 6 star rank 2 unawakened. And 5 star rank 5 SIG 200 is almost comparable to a 6 star rank 3. 6 star rank 3. He did it with a 6 star rank 2 unawakened without synergy. 3 bosses as hard as the champion boss itemless back to back to back. I'll post the link in the comment section below. I really think Diablo is the second champion out of Kitty Pryde that can solo the most bosses in MCOC. Um, if you talk about consecutive fights, I think Diablo can solo the most consecutive fights in MCOC. You can make a argument with Kitty Pryde, but you would have to play perfectly if for Kitty Pryde to be able to solo more than Diablo consecutive fights back to back itemless. So yeah, so I'll post that in the should be able to post it on the description. Happy McMuffins soloing 3 bosses with a 6 star rank 2 unawakened Diablo in Summer Pain of last year without synergy. And you'll see what I'm talking about. In the hands of a very skilled player, Diablo is very good. Also, I want to say, if we can get to like if you a million likes on this video, 1 million likes, that's the goal. I'm going to make part I'm gonna make 60 in-game boss solo with a 5-star Diablo. Okay, I'm just kidding, you know. I'm just kidding on that part, you know. And you don't have to like the video if you don't like it. That's absolutely fine. And you don't have to subscribe if you don't want to either. Also, it's be able to solo more bosses. It's gonna be hard because I'm very likely not going to have a phone in like 10 days or so. So I will eventually in the future, but not going to be lately. Most likely not. But I will be planning to solo more fights with Diablo with a 5-star. Keep that in mind, 5-star. Okay, thank you.